Hi, I'm Carl. My wife Julie and I are blessed with two great teenagers, Ben and Keith, and we love cycling in Boulder. Ben and Keith are great, but if any of you have teenagers, you may sometimes wonder whether anything you say registers. Well, let this be a word of caution. A few years back, I was waxing eloquent at the dinner table, telling the boys to seize the day, that sometimes when an opportunity comes up, you just have to take it. And the example I used was bicycling across America. Now, I've always loved bike touring. My first trip was when I was in 7th grade. I biked 500 miles back from math camp. Yeah, I was that kid. My dad and I did some other tours. We circumnavigated Lake Michigan. I rode on the East Coast, but I always wanted to ride across the country. But I didn't do it in high school, and then came college, grad school, marriage, kids, and it didn't happen. So the lesson, I said, wrapping up my monologue, was don't put it off, just do it. So fast forward a couple of years, and Ben says to me, Dad, I want to do something big after high school, and I listened to your lecture, so how about that bike ride? Wow, the chance to spend all summer with Ben before he goes off to college, I knew this was my seize the day moment too. And so we started preparing. We debated every ounce of weight. We tried to figure out how to charge our phones best. We had to ride about 500 miles a week to get Ben back in time for college. So we really had to keep going. I especially had to train. Now, once you go, you just have to pedal, but there's a few details you have to work out before you go. But bike touring is the perfect pace to travel. It's like slow food, slowing down and savoring the process and the experience of eating. There's a direct analogy with bike touring. It's the Goldilocks pace, a just right experience of culture and ecosystems that lets you soak it in and moves you through it. It's slow travel.
Who was slower, you or Ben?
Biking immerses you in the scene. Unlike in a car where everything's framed by the window, in a bike you're in it. You experience everything, smoke, snow, humidity. It's all there. And it's not just visual, it's a full sensory experience. The deafening buzz of tree frogs, the metallic ping of hail off your top tube, a train whistle on the prairie, and of course, the dreaded noise of an unmuffled pickup truck approaching from behind. It's always pickup trucks, by the way. I had a standing bet with Ben, $100 if a mom in a minivan flipped us off or tossed an empty beer can at us. Safest bet ever. And the dogs in Kentucky. Check out Ben's doggy defense. Then there's the smells. There's the good smells, like sagebrush after a rainstorm, and the not-so-good ones, feedlots, fish heads, ripening roadkill, all taken at a slow pace, and there's no windows to roll up. And you feel the 100-degree heat and the 40-degree rain, the caked dirt and the tackiness of sweat when your knees start to stick together at the end of a day, and the snapping sound of melting asphalt as it snaps off your wheels, off your tires. And of course, there's your saddle, your most intimate companion. 352 hours of intimacy. That's like what, 20 years of marriage, right? And it turns out, yes, you can develop calluses anywhere. But perhaps the best is the food. You're constantly replacing those calories. You eat and eat. Second breakfast, second milkshakes. You always say yes to dessert, and eat and eat and eat, and you still lose weight. But it's not just the senses, it's the experiences and the interactions that make bike travel so magic. We encounter a preacher who could take down a 100-foot eucalyptus tree in 13 minutes flat. We'd get a full tutorial on motorcycle jumping. And you encounter weird stuff every day, like a cheese shop that offers 3 sizes of Velveeta, but no actual cheese. But the greatest interactions of all were between my son and me. On some days, we'd have these incredible, deep, philosophical conversations that would make the miles fly by. On other days, we'd ride together in complete silence for hours. Over 9 weeks, we had a set of experiences, some profound, some bizarre, some charged with adrenaline, and others deadened by exhaustion. We propped each other up, we took more data, and we experienced more sensory input than we thought humanly possible. But most impactful in all, Ben and I develop the trust and understanding at a foundational level that only comes from shared experiences over extended periods of time. That's slow travel. Go seize the day.